Please put your hands together and welcome Michael. Come on out, Michael.
Thanks. Thanks. I'm happy to be here, and I thought we'd kick it off with a quick little video that our travel team in the UK put together. Can we roll that video? Now, the good news is this world isn't too far away. In fact, most of what you've seen here on the video is available today. I'm going to spend about the next half hour talking about a few things. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's happening globally and give you a few stats on global trends. And then I'm going to shift the conversation into the 5 phases of travel and how mobile and mobile advertising has an impact on each of those 5 stages. So let me kick it off with a few statistics. You've heard a lot about mobile today. You've heard a lot about mobile plus social networking. So with that in mind, I'll go quite quickly through these statistics. But 5 billion mobile devices are alive and well in the world today. The amazing thing about this statistic is that 1 billion of them have been added in the last 18 months. So the scale of penetration of high-end phones is escalating. 3G globally is now 21% of the population. In the US, it's much higher than that. And interestingly, we're about to shift from 3G to 4G. And when we shift from 3G to 4G, our connection speeds on mobile are going to increase tenfold. So that's going to create a whole new world of opportunities. Imagine how much video you're going to be watching on your phones. Imagine how much web content you can consume when the connection speed is fantastic. 50% of new mobile internet connections, internet connections are for mobile devices, which is absolutely amazing. Many, many countries, the young generation now will skip the desktop and go straight to mobile as their first entry point to the internet. And 300,000 Android activations a day. This stat's a few months old. The number's higher than that right now. But that's just an example of the phone penetration on these high-speed networks is rapidly accelerating. And what it means is that what it means is important for all different industries, but I think especially for travel. Travelers are increasingly adopting the platform. And it's a no-brainer that if you're traveling, you're away from your home computer, you're away from your work computer. So mobile is going to be an obvious way for you to learn about the world, learn about the city you're in, and try to book things and find things. 30 million mobile researchers projected by 2012, a 75% growth from 2010 to 2012 in people who book through their mobile phones. And we're already seeing that, and I have a few examples of advertisers who are really seeing traction on booking through mobile. International travelers are using mobile to check in more and more. And 50% of people who use their mobile devices somewhere in the travel booking and researching process have searched for travel in the past 6 months. So what's really happening, and Noah mentioned it and people in the last panel, there's been this tremendous shift from a world in which we had our digital life at work and sometimes at home, and then our physical life when we were unconnected. Now, that world is gone. We're connected 24/7 through our mobile devices. So we can find information we want to find, we can entertain ourselves with games, with apps, we can find information, and we can do it very, very quickly. With that is a tremendous opportunity, an opportunity to reach people who you couldn't reach before through digital advertising, and to create a really great experience for mobile users. Now, what's happening with this convergence and this, the emergence of the phone as this bridge device is that consumers are expecting a lot, and I think many of you have already alluded to it and talked about it specifically, but consumers expect a great mobile experience. If they can search for something on their phone and they see a link or they see an ad and they land on a landing page, they want it to work. If they're searching for ways to book hotel rooms, book flights, reserve cars, they want it to work. And I think there's a fantastic opportunity for those in this room to really move the bar forward on mobile advertising and reaching your customers. So it sounds trite, but we wanted to sort of show you some stats, mobile being always on. So this chart, the light line shows PC search traffic. So this is real Google PC log search data. And you can see that in the course of 24 hours, what happens at lunchtime, you go out for lunch, desktop searches drop down, and mobile spikes to increases and fills that gap. But then in the evening, it gets really interesting. People leave work, and they're at home. People are searching on home computers, but they're also searching on mobile. And they're watching TV at the same time. Now, it gets even more interesting if you think about what happens during the 7 days of the week. What usually happens is you can see the gray line again is our desktop queries, and the gray line is the desktop queries, the blue is mobile queries. You can see what happens. Each of these big dips on the weekend is when desktop traffic dips. And it dips because people aren't in front of their computer at work. But what happens? Mobile spikes. So we see huge spikes of traffic starting Friday at 5 and ending late Sunday night. And those are searches that are incremental that wouldn't have happened had it not been for mobile phones. So mobile really, in the search traffic that we see, is proving to be always on and a huge opportunity. So with this in mind, we thought we'd talk about the 5 stages of travel and how mobile has an impact at each of these 5 stages. So the dreaming stage, when you're thinking about maybe going on a trip somewhere, to the research stage, booking. Finally, when you're at your destination, how do you use your mobile phone when you're at your destination? What does it do to enhance the experience? And then finally, sharing. And the panel earlier, Noah's panel, talking about social networking and mobile, had a lot of interesting things to say about that, and there's more to come later this afternoon. So I'm going to start first with the dreaming. In the dreaming phase, it's an area where actually a lot of travel marketers haven't spent a lot of time, but some have. In fact, this is a great example from Westin. And what Westin did is they placed an ad you can see on a travel app, and it said, are you feeling cold? Do you want to warm up? You tap on the ad. Frost would actually build on the phone, on the screen of the phone, and you would scrape away the frost to get to this Westin carousel, showing 8 properties in warm locations. So what a great way in cold climates to get people to think about traveling to warmer climates. It was contextually targeted against people who were looking at weather in their cold city. And it really sort of captures what you can do at the dreaming phase. Now, I mentioned before that when people get home from work, they're still searching on their mobile phones, they're searching on desktop phones, on desktop computers, and they're also watching TV. 86% of people using the TV often watch TV and use their mobile phones at the same time, which seems obvious. So what we did is during the last Super Bowl, we looked at the search traffic on mobile in a time sequence and mapped it against which commercials played during which parts of the Super Bowl. And we saw massive spikes of traffic after every commercial. And that seems obvious. You see a GoDaddy commercial and it looked fun, so you want to relive it again on your phone. But what happened was, after the mobile search spikes went up, it didn't drop down to the same baseline. They maintained a higher baseline afterwards. So something's happening. So I'm just raising it because I think for those of you who are TV advertisers, just keep in mind, people are often watching TV commercials and doing things on their phones at the same time. And you can really take advantage of that.